Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, there has been a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh news that have been happening in the past week or so. I am a little bit behind on some of them, but I figured, why not take this time after the holiday season or during the holiday season to just experiment on something that I think people on this channel might find really cool. It's not something super out there. It's not something at another level that is going to be meta defining, but it is something that I always like to do whenever new cards arrive. Some people who watch my videos already know that I'm very quick on these whenever I see these cards being revealed, just because, like, my old duelist brain just kind of like tinkers around with certain cards whenever I see creativity behind them, and this card is no exception. So if you're looking at this video, you probably already know about this card. You probably already know what this card does by now. This is Draselea, the Blood Tree Dragon Princess. Try saying that 4 times. It is a level 1 plant dark tuner, and it's a very simple effect. It has a very simple effect. You just send a plant for cost to special summon itself from the hand. Yep, we got another circular, but for plant monsters. The graveyard effect is you can banish this alongside a plant, and special summon a dragon monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Draselea, the Blood Tree Dragon, once per turn. So, it's very obvious what they want you to use this card for. But before I bring the elephant out of the room, let's talk about all these other plant monsters that are good cards to send out of Draselea. You can send Glow Bulb, and this just immediately becomes another body on board, and you can just make Aroma Surfing Jasmine. You can send Spore if you already have plants in your grave, and you just use the Spore as a synchro material for another monster. You can send Rose Girl, and Rose Girl can grab herself back from the graveyard to the hand, and this is all without your normal summon, so you can just normal summon the Rose Girl and do other things with it. Sadly, this does lock you into dragons and plants. Otherwise, you could have done Killer Tune shenanigans with this. You got Cyclos that triggers upon the synchro summon of a monster, if I'm not mistaken. Or, yeah, if an insect, plant, or plant synchro monster special summon while this is in the graveyard. And this is a tuner, so there are avenues where you can just activate this card, send Cyclos, synchro away this monster, and then Cyclos gets the trigger. And then Cyclos on summon can just add you any insect or plant tuner. Yes, this can add Draselea as well. So essentially you have like more cards that get you to Draselea if you need to, if you need to. But that's already a given. If you already have a synchro on board, you can send Vengeful Witch, and she can special summon a plant from your deck by doing the same thing, by discarding a card. You can send Flower Bot. Yes, I thought about Flower Bot too. I thought about Rose Girl Lover. I thought about Rika Princess. I thought about Aromage Laurel and just do shenanigans involving Aroma Surfing Jasmine. Now, what is the best card to send with Draselea? Well, you already know it's gonna be none of these. Especially Staystire Sailor and Fengli. The reason I bringing up these two, because these two are Amogus imposters. These two do not get their effect if you send them for Draselea. This is a little bit of PSCT. This card reads, if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. And This says if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard by a monster effect. So neither Feng Li or Star Sailor gets to do their effects. Keep that in mind whenever you're building this deck. There are some really cool tricks that we can do with Stay Sailor, and you will see that in this deck. Well, not this deck, but this combo showcase that I'm gonna do later. Or strategy, whatever you want to call it. But before we go to that, let's show another combo. Shoutouts to Super Nix and Metrix. I think I'm mentioning those names right. I will post their channels in the description. These two people have already done a video on this combo, so this is not something new. This is not something I thought about. This is the Predaplant combo. Biblisp is the best monster you're going to send with Draselea. I'm just going to fast forward it a little bit. If you want to see like a more detailed guide behind this combo, you can go watch the videos that I've aforementioned, and I will post it in the description. So we do have new Predaplant cards alongside the Draselea. Like the Longnephilia is going to add those another Predaplant card. Those are like notable targets that we can mention. Reminder for people that don't know, Predaplants was almost meta in 2022. This was a deck that was built during the national season. It didn't have any major tops, but we had really important people like Jesse Cotton, like Pakawat. We had people like Nesh. We had people like DB Grinder all playing this deck. So, you know, there must have been something really cool and interesting behind it back then, right? And back then we had 3 brand diffusions, and we only had the original Fallen of Albaz. Now we have a new Albaz. We'll talk about that later. So going back to the combo, Longnephilia is not gonna add any of the old Predaplant cards. We're going to add this card instead. This is a new card. This is Preda Primitive. This for cost can send a Predap card, and this can add a fusion spell or a poly spell. Again, I just gotta let this combo play out. You're going to see this very similar. Those are the cards that you can add with this. We're just showing you all the targets. The most relevant one here is Instant Fusion, because we're going to use it to summon Ambulance. I am calling it Ambulance. I'm not gonna call it by its original name. I'm sorry. This adds a Predaplant monster or a spell trap. This will add Pruning. You can also add Predaponics as well. You will see another combo with Predaponics later. This is an equip spell. It just brings back a Predaplant. And this will just get destroyed if the monster leaves the field. We are going to use Ambulance effect to send the Saracenian to the graveyard and summon from the deck another Predaplant. And both Cobra and Saracenian will get to trigger. This adds a Predap card. This adds a fusion spell. We're going to add Ultra Polymerization, and we're going to add another new Predaplant, which is Lizard. Lizard can just special summon itself and add a poly if you control a Predaplant or a Starving Venom monster. That will be relevant. So we got another new card. This is Balthea. This upon summon can special summon Predaplant or Starving Venom from your face-up extra deck or graveyard. It says face-up extra deck because we do have Starving Venom fusion monsters. There are Pendulum monsters. You can banish this card and 1 poly from your grave, and then fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field. This is a tuner, so we're going to just synchro these two into Black Rose. We used the Draselea and the Cobra for this. This brought back this. These two made this. I know that I said that I would let the combo play out, but there are people that are probably not gonna be familiar with any of this. So just bringing it up real quickly. We're going to synchro into Crystal Wing. We're going to use Deadly Lizard summon. We're going to use Bramble Rose. This brings back the Black Rose. It brings back Black. You can bring back a Plant Tuner. My bad. You're going to bring back the Balthea, and Balthea and the Lizard are going to make Clear Wind Synchro Dragon. Why is Clear Wind Synchro Dragon being summoned in 2026? Well, you'll see soon. So this adds a Predator counter to a monster on the field. This can special summon itself if there's a Predator counter on the field. Now we have a Predator counter on, well, it could be Ambulance or Clear Wing. It doesn't matter which. Fun fact, if you do target this, you can activate this card's effect to just negate it, but you know, we're not gonna do that. So we're going to fuse. This is still on field. We're going to fuse the Ambulance and the Clear Wing into Starving Venom Wing Dragon. So this is a new Starving Venom fusion. This requires Clear Wing as a material. Now you know why what card we saw the card. Why Balthea can summon from the face-up extra deck is because of this card. There's also the other Starving Venom Pendulum monster, you know which one. So if you missed what was going on here, we used the poly, used these two into Stapelia. Well, actually, we've used the Ambulance on board, and we've used the Biblisp into this. Biblisp gets banished because it does banish when it leaves the field. We use Draselea to banish itself and a Predaplant to just bring back Black Rose. And we overlaid these two into Eclipse Dragon Ruler of Catastrophes. You can make anything here as long as it's a dragon or a plant. You could even just grab these two and make Hieratic Seal. The reason we did it this way is because we did needed the space for all the monsters that we were summoning. That's why this Clear Wing is in our extra deck, face-up extra deck. But you could realistically make other things like Hieratic Seal. We are locked into dragons and plants, so keep that in mind. So we cannot make just any generic rank 7. This is a good one. There's another good one. I forgot his name. You guys know which one. The one that can just detach one to pop one. And it's a quick effect if you use dragons as material. So this is the typical Predaplant end board. You can summon the new Stardust Dragon. The one that got revealed for the giant core set. Well, not core set, that's giant side set. The one with the full art break cards. You know which one. You can just make any Synchro Dragon here, but Crystal Wave is the best one. Now that you saw this combo, again, the links will be in the description if you want to like see more details behind this combo and see how this combo works. We're going to engineer this combo into a different way. So we're gonna move all these plants out of the way. And we're going to do Biblisp. Biblisp is going to add the Longin effect. We're going to grab Primitive. We're going to use Primitive. We're going to send the Saracenian, and everything looks exactly like the Predaplant combo that we've been doing so far, right? But here's where things will change a little bit. We're still going to add the Instant Fusion. We're going to activate the Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is going to summon the Ambulance. Ambulance is going to add as Predaponics. We're going to activate the Predaponics. We're going to summon the Saracenian. We're going to use Ambulance. We're going to send it for effect. This does target first and then tribute. In case you're wondering how does this card trigger, because this card does say buy a card effect. We're going to summon the Darlingtonia Cobra, and now we're going to chainlink these two. And we're going to add the Lizard, and we're going to add Branded Fusion. Remember what we talked about a little bit ago? How some of the pro players have been innovating Predaplants as a side engine for just like branded slop decks? Well, there's really nothing stopping us from doing this in 2016. And this card actually does a lot. Remember, we are locked into Plants and Dragons. But we're locked into Plants and Dragons because of both Draselea and Primitive. And we're locked into Plants and Dragons, but we're not locked into Fusion monsters yet. Branded Fusion will lock us into Fusions. From the aspect. So we're going to Branded Fusion, and you guessed it, we're using Dracotails here. We're going to send Frixel, we're going to send Albaz the White Dragon, and we're going to summon Albion the Branded Dragon. Get used to this, you're going to see this a lot in 2016. We're going to use the Albion, and we're also going to use the Frixel. This Frixel is now getting banished, we're just triggering her effect. With Frixel, we are going to set, and with Albion, we are going to banish the Fuse. We're going to banish Ambulance and Cobra to summon Dracotail. This is a level 8 future monster. And we're going to set Rahu with the Dracotail Frixel. We are already locked into into fusions because of Branded Fusion, so you might as well set Rahu. So we're going to use Rahu. We legally can summon a Dracotail here because we do have the Lizard in our hand. This is showcasing you with the 1-card combo. If you already have a monster in hand, you can just skip the part where you summon Ambulance and like Instant Fusion and Darlingtonia Cobra. You don't need to summon any of those monsters. Just having any monster in the hand will do. You can even have this Cobra in your hand as a brick. And with Primitive, you can just add the Branded Fusion just straight away. The reason we did all these steps, including Instant Fusion, is because we're showcasing you a 1-card combo with Draselea, not a 1.5 card combo. So we're going to Rahu. Rahu is going to send. We're going to send Urgula. We're going to fuse into Arthalion. We're going to trigger Arthalia, and we're going to trigger the Urgula. Urgula is going to set the Ketu, and Arthalion is going to grab us back. Can you guess what we're going to grab back? Yes, we're going to grab back Follow the White Dragon. Let's be honest, that was more than expected, right? So now we're going to activate this Ketu, and this Ketu is going to add us a Dracotail. The Dracotail that we're going to add is 5 mana. And we're going to activate this 5 mana, and this 5 mana is going to fuse us for a dragon. We're going to use the Draselea and the Longvin Phila, and this will summon us Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This only requires 2 dark monsters. And you can fuse into anything with 5 mana as long as they're spellcasters and dragons. So all of this is legal so far. We're going to activate Follow the White Dragon. You can send the Ecclesia of the Black Dragon here if you want, since we already have Albion the Branded Dragon face up. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to send another Albion. We're going to summon the Albaz. Albaz cannot activate its effect to summon Ecclesia from the deck in this instance because we are locked into Plants and Dragons because of Draselea and Primitive. But you can still just send the Albion for cost for the Fallen of White. And this is still an Albaz monster. So, you can fuse with this Albaz on your opponent's turn. Or like fuse into something later. We're now going to use Orgula's effect. Orgula is going to grab us back 5 mana. We're going to put back Orgula. And in the end phase, we're going to use Albion the Branded Dragon, and we're going to send Fallen the Virtuous. So, this board doesn't look that impressive, right? There are a couple of interruptions here. 5 mana can fuse away this Albaz and this Albion, and just make, like, you can make Lubellion, you can make Star Source, you can make Mirror Jade. So you can just make well, actually you cannot make Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is a worm type monster, not a dragon or a spellcaster. So take that in mind. But yeah, you have a couple of interactions with 5 mana. You have Fallen and the Virtuous, which just pops a card, and then you can send the Ecclesia with this. Also, something to note. For the later turns, you can use this Draselea, and Draselea can just bring back Albaz from the graveyard. Because this can summon a dragon from your graveyard by banishing this alongside another plant. Take note, if you do that graveyard effect, you're also locked into plants or dragons. So yeah. But yeah, this is the showcase I kind of wanted to show you. I am pilled with Dracotail. You guys already know I'm a big fan of this deck. So anything that can make them work just works here. This is a very scuffed combo, but it is a 1-card combo with Draselea. And you do run a few bricks, but if you do want to play this as a monster-heavy deck, you can just skip a few of the bricks as well. In this deck. This combo also has a lot of starters too, because Primitive is a starter, Instant Fusion is a starter, the Draselea is a starter, Longinfilla is also a starter. Like you have a lot of starters just for like half of this combo. So that's something really, really cool. Will we see a more modernized version of the branded plant deck? I think it's just a matter of time. Like, we did lose a couple of cards. Like, we no longer have 3 Prosperities. Branded Fusion is not a 3 either. But, there's a world where you just don't play Branded Opening and don't play, like, Aluber. And just don't play the Predapractice. And you can just skip the Orpheus Scorpio as well. Although Orpheus Scorpio is also a starter for all of this as well. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Blazing Dominion is just right around the corner. This is a really cool set. But yeah, until then, keep practicing and keep dueling.